Project status.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Verizon Warriors Series Finals. My name is Calvoth, and I'm going to be one of your hosts for the day. We have a really great show lined up for you today. We're going to watch a bunch of teams competing for charity, $100,000 worth of charity donations from our partners at Verizon. We're super honored to have Verizon join us for this activity. We're also running a charity donations for Wounded Warrior Project. We've killed that goal. We had an initial $10,000 goal when we started this in June, and we have blown that out of the water. And as we announced last time, some lucky winner is going to be getting a one-of-a-kind J. Ellis signed toaster. So it's not going to be Her Majesty's toaster, but it's going to be a great toaster. So we have a great show lined up for you guys today. Some amazing guests. J. Ellis will be joining us again. We'll have another veteran from Verizon joining us to talk about his experiences in the military, as well as what Verizon does and all of the activities that they're able to go through. So a huge shout out to everybody who is in the background making this work. And I want to bring two of them on here in just a moment. But it's nice to meet you, Demedia. There's a lot of people in chat. I'm going to try and catch up with both, but we know there's a lot that happens in the background, and Mr. Conway is doing an amazing job of getting this set up. He shared a picture of his setup, and it confused me. But let's bring on Mr. Conway and my co-host for the day, Mr. Bogsy, one of our community contributors. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry if I nervously glanced to the side. That's because I am running this stream today, and I need to make sure everything works more or less smoothly. You can traditionally #blame Conway for any technical issues that may appear. But it's really cool that we're getting this together, that we have like the one of the most distributed broadcasts I've had in a while. I'm sitting here live in Prague. I'm pulling together all the strings, right? We have guests from all around the world. And then we have our team in St. Petersburg that's on the way to the office right now to give you an awesome gameplay view of the matches later. So it should be a fun evening. And Bogsy!
He's somewhere. I don't know which way to point.
I'm to your right, but yeah, very happy to be here. Very excited to be joining Calvoth here for some post and pre-match commentary, talk about the format, stuff like that. And Conway, I just have to say, I saw the picture of your setup there, and I'm now at least 20% more convinced you might actually be plotting world domination with that setup.
It's Skynet. It really is.
It's Skynet. It's insane.
It is.
I honestly, because I have to say, I am running out of screen space, right? I just don't have, because the amount of chats and things, I'm running out of screen space. And for context, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And it's not quite enough.
That's seven. There, you shared a screenshot with us. I think at some point or another we'll have to leak that to the forums or to Discord and let people see the setup. So, but Mr. Conway, thank you so much for all the work that you're putting in on the back end. You know, there's a ton of effort that goes into this. The St. Pete team is going to do that awesome camera work that we saw during the qualifiers. Today's the finals. Today is for all of the marbles. Is that the turn of phrase? $100,000 worth of prize money up on the line for our 8 teams. Super excited to see that. Bogsy, what are you looking forward to today? What's the thing that you're most excited about?
So I love the Tier 8 format, and it comes kind of few and far between for me, someone who plays a lot of competitive. Last time I got to it was the last Verizon Warriors Series, and I realized just how much of a fun break from Tier 10s that is. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing some double battleship comps. I'm looking forward to seeing how they stack up against one battleship, one carrier, and I'm looking forward to what I've already seen, which are some excellent DD plays. So.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. What are you looking forward to, Mr. Conway?
For me, the exciting part is when the game has started and I get a few minutes to just sit down and like watch it unfold, and we don't have to worry about what else is happening, because then I'm just handing control over to someone else. But I'm really I am excited to see how the matches are going to go. We saw them getting progressively better and better as the rounds progressed last time, and I know there's really, really good players. So with the top competitive players mixed in with some noobs as well, or some less experienced ones, and I think this mix is really what's going to make this interesting, because there is room for mistakes to be made, those to be exploited, and I think there's going to be a lot of explosive action today. Should be good.
Action.
Yes.
Explosive action. Lots of explosions. So that's what we're looking for today. And so we talked a little bit about this in the last versions of these, but one of the things I want to talk about is the reason that we're doing all of this. And this is for charity. We're raising we have $100,000 on the line for multiple charities, and every charity organization is going to get a payout. These 8 teams are playing for specific charity organizations that they selected. But we've talked a little bit about the delay, and normally you'll see a delay in these kinds of streams where you're streaming gameplay content. We opted away from that. We're hoping that people use the honor system, don't cheat. At the end of the day, this is for charity. So at the end of it, we're raising money or competing to give money to a charity organization to help veterans. So please keep that in mind. This is more directed at the teams, but bearing that in mind that we want this to be a fun and healthy competition for the good of veterans and that competition.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of benefit even in a broadcast like this, that today, if there's Canadian 791 in chat saying, hello, Mr. Conway, I can go say hello back to Canada. And we can actually have some interaction. You guys can ask some questions, we might be interesting later when JLS and Jason Hill are on. And I think that brings a lot of benefit to the stream. And next weekend, we've actually got another tournament happening, a European one. And next weekend, for the first time, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try implementing time travel to be able to give you a live stream with delayed gameplay feed. So the idea is that the gameplay view gets sent to me at a delay, so that we have gameplay safely, but we can still interact in a live environment. It might go horribly wrong, but we'll see. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. You might hear and see me intermittently during the stream, but the show is mainly going to be run by these two beautiful gentlemen, so they'll take you a bit through a bit of what we're going to see today, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.
Thanks, Conway.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. I just found out that Bogsy, we're considered beautiful, so that's amazing. A couple quick housekeeping tips. A couple of quick housekeeping things for the day. We're going to have 8 teams that are going to be competing. The first team up is going to be Where's the W Key, competing against Jedi. And Where's the W Key? They're fighting for the Pat Tillman Foundation. And our folks over there at the Jedi are going to be fighting for Warrior Freedom Service Dogs. So those are going to be the competitions that we see today. First off, when we kick off here in about 20 minutes from now? I'm bad at timing, so I don't know. I have like 3 clocks and I don't remember which one's right. What do you think we're going to be seeing out of this first set of teams?
Oh gosh, well, so the first thing to look at, I would say, is to look at the list of banned ships, which I don't think we have a full list of the banned ships available right now, but there are some notable ships like the Enterprise, for example. The Enterprise for a long time has been a ship that is very, very powerful for its tier as a carrier. There are a couple of other ships that are not available at the moment, so those have been taken out. I would say most notably from them are the Massachusetts and the Lenin, two very, very powerful battleships that fulfill strong roles in a Tier 8 competitive meta, as well as the Kutuzov, which, as you guys know, can no longer be obtained. But it's a Russian cruiser with smoke and a heel, two very, very useful attributes when you are trying to trade effectively. So I suspect we're going to see a lot of Kaga, unless it gets banned. There are 2 ship bans per team, I believe, for each matchup. We're going to be seeing what I would guess would be some Lexingtons as well when it comes to the carriers, and then also probably a lot of Vladivostoks. Vladivostoks are very strong, heavily armored. They resist damage a lot. Not great at long range, but if you're making an aggressive push, it's the boat that you want. And this is just me, but I really hope somebody brings a Constellation. I love the Constellation. I'm excited to see it. I want someone to be a hero and bring it.
All right. Well, we'll see who out there is a hero. So speaking of heroes, it's a great segue. We have a ton of great partners in this, and one of those partners is Wounded Warrior Project, and we've had a great opportunity to work with them. And like I mentioned earlier, we've raised over $20,000 for Wounded Warrior. There's going to be links that are dropped in chat throughout the day. Make sure you follow those links. There's a lot of great deals from Verizon. A lot of really cool ways that you can get $75 worth of free in-game goodies. But I want to run a video, and then we're going to be bringing on our commentators for the day, which they're new. You guys have never heard of them. They're brand new. No, I'm kidding, of course. But let's run that first video, and then we'll be back in just a few minutes with our 2 commentators for the day.
We used to have like these tournaments in the barracks. It was always a healthy type of competition. You'd be like, oh yes, the head doctor's in town ready to take you out.
Boom, baby.
There's a saying in the military, hurry up and wait. During our downtime, we would game.
Oh, come on. Gaming is a thing that calms one's anxiety.
All right, let's go. I was able to pretend for a little bit that I was somewhere else. It's so much more than just a game.
All right, we're back. That was a cool video, kind of sets the tone for the day. But Boggsy, you'd mentioned USS Lexington, and this guy right below me, Mr. Sea Raptor, happens to be wearing a Lexington shirt. So let's hear from our commentators today. Welcome to the show, Lord Zath and Sea Raptor.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You guys commentated for the, or I guess it's called casting. I'm into wizardry and magic, so casting to me is that kind of thing. But
we did the thing. It's okay.
Makes me sound like a huge nerd when I said that out loud. It sounded better in my head. But so let's can we cut this and start over? We'll
fix it. We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. No problem.
Fix it in post. That's how they do it all. So no ties. So you casted for the qualifier rounds. Now you're back joining us to cast for the finals. What are you guys most excited to see for the day?
Take it, Zath.
Well, I'm excited to see Chrysanthos. Did you guys notice that one cutout of Chrysanthos there earlier in the list of the?
No, where?
Fantastic.
What? I didn't see it.
It's on one of the slides. There's a freeze frame of Chrysanthos looking very official.
Oh, okay. I tried to get a cardboard cutout of Chrysanthos to put behind me, but
yeah,
didn't work out.
You guys are just blowing up his ego. He's gonna be so impressed that he was missed.
Yeah, right.
We're only doing this because we need to do that, right? We need it's fuel.
Yeah,
right. But on a more serious response, I'm excited to see how these teams are going to face off. We haven't covered the first 2 teams yet, Jedi and Where's the W Keep. We didn't see them at all 2 weekends ago. Now we get to see them, and one of them will advance. So we're going to cover one of them at least twice here and see how things go, and I think that'll be fun. And I mean, we talked about at the end of the last time was just the craziness that unfolded, the expectations that players had that they were playing tier 10 ships and then discovering no they aren't. The question about carriers. Boggsy, you talked about the Kaga being a very strong carrier. We know that. We also know that Lexington is a very strong carrier. We saw that in that famous clip of Momo putting on that clinic that's on the warships.com page right now.
Right.
So
Mhm.
we know that carriers, a certain couple of them at least, are quite strong. We might see those getting banned. We might see other ships getting banned as well. And I think we're off to a very good start here, and I can't wait to see how things end. And let's all remember, guys, that everybody is a winner, especially these charities that are winning the prizes, and of course the Wounded Warriors Project. And that's why we're all here. So this is going to be fun.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
so,
no, I'm.
Go ahead, see.
I was gonna say I'm like Zath. I'm excited to see what the teams come back with. We saw some really interesting team lineups. We saw some strategies tried that didn't work, and we saw some strategies tried that did work. Right, the infamous double battleship game that we covered on Warriors Path, the very aggressive double battleship push with, as Bogsy noted, Vladivostok. So I am indeed big thonk. So I'm really interested to see which teams opt to stick with the carrier if they feel like that offers them more than the potential hyper aggression of a double battleship composition. And we'll just see where it goes. At the end of the day, though, like Zath, I think I'm most excited for the fact that we're all here turned out to showcase the game a little bit, but it's really about the charities that are going to benefit from all of this. We've got a fabulous list of charities lined up. I'm excited for some of these guys to get a donation, and it's going to be awesome to see who comes out ahead of the other ones in terms of what team representing who finishes and everything. It's going to be fun.
Right. And so let's talk a little bit about that. So, Lord Zath or Sea Raptor, do you want to walk us through the format for the battles today?
Sure. You mean like the tiers and everything?
The tiers, the makeup, the 7v7.
Sure, we can do that. So, and Zath, step in and slap me if I get this wrong. If memory serves, we are looking at 7v7. Tier 8, you get 2 capital ships. So in other words, you can take 2 battleships if you wish, or you may take a battleship and an aircraft carrier. And that's pretty much it as far as I'm aware. After that, there are 2 ship bans per team. And then we've got a fixed map pool. There do map picks and bans, or all that's done before the match starts. Each team gets to ban a map out of the list, and then the various maps. Basically, the one team will pick the map that will be played, and the team that doesn't choose that map will decide which end of the map they wish to spawn on in that game.
Right. That covers it all. And all these guys are fighting. All these folks are fighting for $100,000 worth of charities, and we talked a little bit about that. And Sea Raptor, you said everybody's a winner, and this is so true. We've been so honored and humbled by the amount of support that the community has provided and shown for this event. So thank you guys so much. Lord Last, Sea Raptor, Bogsy, thank you all so much for taking Sunday to join us for the Verizon Warriors Series. Huge shout out to Verizon as well for helping us put this on. Throughout the day, we're also going to be running, not throughout the day, but at some point or another later in the day, we're also going to have some trivia popped up from our partners at History Channel, so look forward to that. And what else do we have going on today? We have lots of stuff. We have Jay Ellis will be joining us, right? We'll be chatting with him again. There's some Twitch drops that will be, so make sure you, if you haven't done so already, make sure you link your World of Warships account with your Twitch account. That way you can get those Twitch drops throughout the day. I think you need to watch for an hour and a half, 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you'll have lots of drops going throughout the day. So just keep an eye on. Make sure you're joining us here and tune in for the show. So the way that the rest of the day is going to work is that we have our first match coming up. And that was Where's the W Key are fighting against Jedi, and those two teams are going to be competing. And so we've got that first match is going to be happening here in about 5 or 10 minutes. So for now, what we're going to do is we'll say bye to our casters, Sea Raptor and Lord Zath, for just a few minutes so they can get prepared to go. And Bogsy and I will hang out for a few more minutes and chat about the rest of the day, and then we'll circle back and see you guys in the game.
See you guys.
Sounds good. Have
fun.
Right. Bye, guys. All right. So let's start. Boggs, you want to walk us through the maps and the bands and the selections?
Yeah. So one of the things to note here is that if you guys are familiar with the King of the Sea format, many of these maps will seem familiar to you as there is a lot of overlap. One notable exception is Sleeping Giant. Now, Sleeping Giant, sort of, a lot of folks have a love-hate relationship with Sleeping Giant because of one thing specifically, and that's going to be the ACAP, Thunderdome. That's where a lot of very decisive plays have to get made. Otherwise, the game starts to spiral out of control. So that's a sort of, to me at least, a sort of a wild card of a map where a lot of unusual strategies come into play. But we're going to have 2 ship bans per side, per round, per matchup, I guess you'd say, as was mentioned beforehand. I expect to see lots of Kaga being banned. I suspect we might see some Vladivostok, as well as things like the Akizuki, a few things that really, really give people headaches. So I may have forgotten this, Calvoth. Are there map bans as well?
Are there map bans? There's a map rotation, and then the team gets to pick which map they're going to play on, and the other team picks which side they're going to start.
Copy that. So, yeah, I suspect we might see a lot of similar strategies on maps like Northern Waters and Warriors Path that sort of have some similarities, but I think Sleeping Giant is going to provide us with a lot of highlight reel stuff as well, of people running smack dab into each other at the beginning, at one of the mouths of the ACAP.
Yeah, I think that's. It feels like that's going to be a hot zone for competition today. So we'll see what happens with that. And I want to real quick. It's going to be 2 hours and 30 minutes. I said 90 minutes earlier. I was wrong. It's 2.5 hours for those Twitch drops. You just keep an eye on your inventory there. Make sure again that you link your accounts. So yeah. So Baltimore, Alabama, Otago, and Kaga. How do you feel about these ship bans?
I'm impressed with it says help, which is of course where's the W key, and so I think they've made 2 really wise choices here. Kaga is kind of a nightmare of a carrier to have to deal with because the Kaga has seemingly endless resources when it comes to planes. It has a very, very heavy throw weight for its torpedo bombers, and the dive bombers themselves are nothing to sneer at. But the main thing is the longevity, the ability of the Kaga to constantly send planes out throughout the match. Very, very hard to deplane a Kaga, especially at a flat 8 tier. That being said, the planes are rather flimsy. But quantity over quality has often been something that has worked out in the past. So Kaga is going to be a really, really strong choice. I understand why they banned it. Otago is another very interesting choice because Otago is one of those rare tier 8 cruisers with a heel. Not only that, it has a troll citadel and it has very, very good HE and burn DPM. So it brings longevity to the table with the heel, and it just brings that constant DPM over time pressure of the fires combined with good HE. The Baltimore and Alabama are very interesting choices as well, because the Alabama is a solid choice if you want accurate 406 millimeter guns and a relatively tanky hull. I understand exactly why they did that. Baltimore, of course, coming in with that radar, lots and lots of utility there. So good choices.
Absolutely. All right, and so let's walk through Northern Waters. It's going to be one of the maps. What are your takes on this? What do you think Jedi's tactics are going to be here?
Well, it's a good question. So one of the things you really can't do on Northern Waters is ignore the ACAP. Generally speaking, you need to make one of 2 choices. You need to either have your win condition be contest the ACAP while you take your safe cap, and you need to essentially overwhelm your opponent at the ACAP, take both, hold both. Or you put up just enough resistance at A to allow a strong push, usually with 2 battleships if that's the way you end up going, to go from your safe cap to the opponent's safe cap. You take their safe cap, you hold both, and Northern Waters has a very interesting, nice flat section there. I'm going to try and... There you go. The 2 islands at B and C, yeah. The 2 islands at B and C create a bit of a funnel that make it easy to hold those 2 caps if you can take them both. So
if you can hold it from the east-west, right? Otherwise,
that's right.
You get flanked on that backside of that B cap or that C cap, and you're not going to have a very nice day, especially if something comes up from behind you. If you're holding and keeping an eye on A.
That's right. And with the addition of a carrier to the lineup, what that means is, assuming everybody brings carriers, is folks are going to know what the ship dispersal, what the ship positions look like relatively quickly. That's one of the things that carriers bring to the table. So we'll see I'm interested to see if anyone changes their tactics as soon as their carrier spots the enemy formation. I'm really interested to see if someone makes an about face and goes, nope, we're going to push hard, safe to safe, or whether we're going to take the contested cap.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Northern Waters will be an interesting map for these two teams. Our next map that we're going to be seeing today is going to be coming up here on the screen. I think in just a moment, as soon as Mr. Conway is able to. For now, we'll sing a song. Ready, Bogsy?
Hashtag
Warriors
Conway.
Path. The Warriors Path. So Warriors Path, and then we have Sleeping Giant as well. What do you think? What do you think about Warriors Path? What do you think we're going to see here?
Warriors Path is always very dynamic because there are so many ways in which you can start to push your opponents. So if you are on the B side, if B side is your safe cap, for example, you can send even just 2 cruisers, or you can put a battleship with them, or even a DD if you really want. You can push around the far east side of the map and slowly start to push your opponents out of their safe cap. It's something that can be done slowly, methodically, while the A cap is always spicy because there's that island. There's that island in the center of A cap, and some brave DDs just want to dive that cap and say, come get me, come at me, bro. But with the addition of carriers, of course, a dive bomber, especially a Lexington, and this is where Lexington will really, really show its power. The ability to come over that island, make a turn, and dive bombs a DD behind that island is something the Lexington can do way better than, for example, the Kaga. So we'll see who feels brave enough to dive that island today, I'm sure.
I'm interested to see, because definitely that island is going to change some things. Now, we're going to see Sleeping Giant as well. So those 2 choke points on A are really going to be an interesting watch, because they're going to rush for that early on, at least in my opinion. What do you think? What do you think we're going to see here on Sleeping Giant?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. And from my experience, if you want to rush A and you want to take A before your opponents, you bring a French destroyer. You bring a French destroyer, you slap on speed mods and everything you can, and you throw it in. Yeah. So we may see that. If it's a Terrible or a Fantasque, we may see them dash right into A cap just to get things ticking, I suppose, in their favor right away.
Right, and get that counter going. So it'll be an interesting day of matches. I think the matches are getting set up while we're waiting for that first match to set up. If we can bring up the tournament bracket for the day, and we'll talk about the rest of the morning. Well, actually, hold on. I want to do this like a newscaster. This just in, and I'm hearing from the newsroom that we're ready to get going. Here in just a moment, about 20 seconds, and we're going to go live to combat happening in the middle of the ocean with a lot of islands from 2 teams, the Jedi and Where's the W Key. I don't have to hold this anymore, do I? All right. Well,
it looks
Bogsy, I will see you very shortly. I think we're gonna get ready to hand over to Lord Zath and Sea Raptor, and we'll see how this match goes. We'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys. Enjoy the show.